What lengths would you go to for the sake of your relationships? Could you manage to make such a sacrifice for your marriage? In this gripping thriller, a man discovers his wife's infidelity, but chooses to let her cheat on him just to salvage their marriage. As Vic navigates the complex dynamics of their relationship, a suspenseful twist unfolds when he becomes entangled in a series of suspenseful events. The film opens with Vic enjoying a bike ride through the woods. Upon arriving home, he casually removes his pants while Melinda, his wife, observes. Their residence is in Little Wesley, Louisiana, and they share their home with their daughter, Trixie. As Melinda prepares for a party, Vic actively participates in helping her choose an outfit and assisting with her shoes. Despite Melinda expressing her love, Vic remains unresponsive. The couple attends the party, engaging with friends, and the plot takes a turn when Melinda reveals her romantic involvement with a friend named Joel Dash. Vic is aware of what's happening. Even though they make eye contact, Melinda doesn't let it stop her from indulging in her fantasies. When that isn't sufficient, Melinda takes things up a notch by dancing on a piano to get everyone's attention. One of Vic's friends notices Melinda with Joel and shares her worry with Vic, but he just brushes it off. Soon after, Melinda plays the piano and brings joy to everyone. Despite her unusual behavior, Vic looks at her with a smile, as if nothing out of the ordinary has occurred. Afterward, Joel comes over to talk to Vic. He expresses his gratitude to Vic for allowing him to spend time with Melinda. In a casual conversation, Vic brings up the disappearance of Martin McRae, who was Melinda's lover before Joel. To Joel's surprise, Vic confesses that he's the one who killed Martin with a hammer. Despite Joel thinking it's a joke, Vic assures him it's serious. Disturbed by this revelation, Joel panics and leaves the party. As they depart, Melinda questions Vic about what he said to Joel, but Vic denies having said anything. Later that night, while Vic converses with the babysitter, Melinda enters the kitchen without a shirt on. Vic disapproves and rejects her, prompting her to leave. Back home, Vic assists the intoxicated Melinda in undressing. Melinda confides in Vic, expressing her liking for Joel because he accepts her for who she is. It is then disclosed that Vic and Melinda have an arrangement allowing her to be in a relationship with any man due to the absence of love in their marriage. Vic permits her to date freely with the condition that she doesn't leave him. To maintain stability for their daughter, Trixie, Vic accepts these terms to avoid the complications of divorce. A few days later, Vic meets up with his friends, and during their conversation, he comes to realize that everyone in his social circle is aware of the incident where he made a lighthearted threat to Joel using a joke related to Martin McRae. Additionally, his friends point out that Melinda's behavior indicates emotional instability, particularly given her bold and daring actions in Vic's presence. Upon arriving home, Melinda, driven by anger, confronts Vic about the aforementioned threat made towards her lover. Vic, understanding the seriousness of the situation, sincerely apologizes to Melinda, offering assurance that such an incident will not be repeated in the future. Melinda insists that Vic apologize to Joel and arranges a dinner meeting. When Joel arrives, Vic welcomes him, and during the dinner, Joel discloses his plan to move over the weekend. Melinda requests Vic to put Trixie to bed, desiring some alone time with Joel. As Vic tends to Trixie upstairs, he later discovers Melinda and Joel together, sparking feelings of jealousy. Subsequently, Joel anticipates an apology from Vic for the earlier Martin McRae joke. Vic, serious about the matter, denies it being a joke and arranges for Joel to leave by calling him an Uber. One day, Vic and Melinda attend a party where they encounter a new couple in town, Dawn and Kelly. Dawn, an author, catches Vic's attention. Later at the party, Vic dances with Kelly, leading to a sense of jealousy in Melinda. On the way back home, Melinda questions Vic about finding Kelly attractive, to which Vic admits. Melinda, feeling insecure, is jealous, and when they return home, their passion ignites, leading to an intense encounter. One day, during his daughter Trixie's soccer game, Vic gets a call from the bank regarding a payment Melinda made to a piano teacher named Charlie Delisle. Vic decides to investigate and follows Charlie to a live show, discovering that Melinda is involved with her piano teacher. That night, as Vic returns home, he learns from a news report that Martin's body has been found in the woods with reports suggesting he was shot dead. When Melinda comes home, Vic shares the news about Martin, and Melinda reacts with distress, immediately retreating to her room. Over time, Melinda and Charlie grow closer, much to Vic's dismay. Despite being aware of the situation, Vic finds his patience tested. One morning, after Melinda spends the night with Charlie, Vic confronts her, demanding she end the relationship. Melinda, however, refuses, asserting that Charlie provides the love she craves, which Vic claims to offer, but falls short of delivering. The following week, Melinda invites the same guy to their party, and Vic even shakes hands with him. Once again, Vic witnesses his wife getting close to another man. Melinda seems oblivious to her husband's presence, engaging in intimate actions in plain view. As rain begins to fall, everyone moves indoors, resuming the festivities. With the pianist absent, Melinda goes to check on him. Upon discovering him lifeless in the pool, she screams. The guests rush outside, attempting to save him, but their efforts prove futile. When the detectives arrive, they question all the guests at the party. Melinda accuses Vic of drowning and killing Charlie, but Vic firmly denies it. In private, Vic explains to the detectives that Charlie was heavily intoxicated and clinging to the deep end of the pool. The detectives find his explanation satisfactory and decide not to subject him to further questioning. Melinda sticks firmly to her belief that Vic was responsible for Charlie's death. Vic, puzzled by Melinda's fear of his knowledge, questions her about it. In response, Melinda states that she is the very reason for which Vic took someone's life. One day, as Vic is cycling, he notices a car tailing him. While pedaling, he envisions scenes of Melinda with another man and even glimpses images of himself in distress. Subsequently, Kelly informs him that Don suspects him of Charlie's murder. Concurrently, Melinda and Don, sharing similar suspicions, start spending a considerable amount of time together. In an effort to allay Kelly's concerns, Vic invites her and Don for dinner that evening. During a private conversation with Don, Vic implores him to cease spreading the rumor of his involvement in Charlie's death. Don expresses his belief that Vic is the culprit and urges him to prove his innocence by taking a lie detector test, to which Vic agrees. As Vic walks along the roadside, he spots the car that has been tailing him, noticing a camera inside, confirming the continuous surveillance of his movements by a private investigator. In a local diner, Vic notices Melinda having lunch with a private investigator named David Resigliani. Intrigued, Vic decides to join them and learns that David was hired by Don and Melinda. Accusing Don of orchestrating the investigation, Vic is met with denial, but he reveals a bank statement proving Melinda sent money to Don for this purpose. The revelation sparks anger between Kelly and Don, escalating into a heated argument. Subsequently, Vic discovers Melinda's involvement with yet another man. In the unfolding events, Vic stumbles upon Melinda developing a close relationship with a newfound friend, her college sweetheart, Tony Cameron. Consumed by jealousy, Vic finds himself closely tailing their interactions. On a different occasion, Melinda introduces Tony to Vic within the confines of their home, their intimacy evident in a warm embrace. As casual conversation ensues, Melinda casually drops the bombshell that Tony holds the title of being her first American lover, causing a visible stir of discomfort in Vic. The evening progresses with shared meals and music, yet Vic becomes increasingly uneasy witnessing their provocative dance unfolding right before his eyes. As the night wears on, he witnesses the duo ascending the stairs, their eyes locking in a tense moment of acknowledgement. In the course of a few days, Vic approached Tony, conveying Melinda's desire for a meeting. Together, they sat inside Vic's Jeep, embarking on a journey to a secluded place far from the city. During the drive, Vic engaged Tony in a series of inquiries about Melinda and his romantic history. Upon reaching their destination, both men stepped out of the vehicle. In this remote setting, Vic seized a substantial rock, propelling it toward Tony while continuing his line of questioning. The impact caused Tony to lose his balance, leading to a fatal descent down a cliff, where his head collided with a rock, resulting in instantaneous death. Without hesitation, Vic carefully placed a weighty rock upon Tony's lifeless form, ensuring it sank beneath the water's surface, shielding it from view. Following the unsettling incident, Vic returns home with a sense of contentment. The subsequent day, The family plans a picnic, revisiting the very location where Vic had taken Tony's life. During the outing, Melinda questions Vic about his unwavering commitment to their relationship. Vic responds, expressing his love for her true self and asserting his steadfast devotion. The two share a heartfelt embrace, embracing mutual acceptance. However, an unintentional revelation unfolds as Trixie, while near a stream, inadvertently observes Tony's lifeless body floating on the river's surface. On their journey back home, Melinda mentions leaving her scarf behind, prompting Vic to assure her he'll retrieve it the next day. In the evening, Melinda requests Vic to share her room, where she openly expresses her love, culminating in a passionate, intimate encounter. In the subsequent days, Vic returns to the site of his previous actions to rectify his errors. Simultaneously, Melinda discovers Tony's wallet in Vic's workplace. Faced with the realization that Vic is responsible for the demise of those close to her, Melinda decides to sever ties with him. However, Trixie rebels against her mother's decision by discarding the packed suitcase into the pool, symbolizing their refusal to depart. Meanwhile, Vic continues his endeavor to submerge Tony's body in the water. Unexpectedly, Dawn arrives at the scene, questioning Vic's actions. A macabre sight emerges as a hand emerges from the river. Witnessing this, Dawn retreats in fear, and Vic on his bicycle pursues him. In a tragic turn of events, as Dawn attempts to evade Vic, he loses control and plummets off a hill, succumbing to a fatal crash. Once Vic ensures that Dawn has indeed met his end, he makes his way back home. Melinda, stationed on the staircase, directs her gaze toward him, echoing the introductory sequence of the film. Proceeding thereafter, she ascends the staircase, engaging in the symbolic act of burning Tony's identification. This act serves as a tangible manifestation of her determination to stay in the company of Vic, a man who exhibits a profound readiness to undertake significant actions for her well-being.